What's up, real ones? Welcome to Let's View It. It's me again, Tyrone Cross. And all I gotta say is, if you don't know what sarcasm is, then get the f off my channel. See, that right there, that was an example of sarcasm. Because really, I don't care if you know what sarcasm is or not. That's your own problem, and I don't care if you get off my channel. You can watch it and hate it or love it. It really doesn't matter to me. But you guys won't believe the comments I get from people that don't understand sarcasm or don't get that I'm sarcastic. Cause a couple of videos ago, I made a video about women being child-free by choice. And man, did I bring out the crybabies. But anyways, as I did my intro, as you guys know, when I go, what's up real ones, welcome to Let's View It, all that stuff, I said, the best YouTube channel in the world. And someone actually decided to comment,
well, if you have to say it's the best channel, then it's not the best channel.
Well, first of all, let me say this. You're absolutely incorrect. That's not even how the saying or the theory or thought goes. It is if you are the best or if you're that great, what you do in your game speaks for itself. And others will say you're the best or that you're great. That you don't have to say it if you're really the best. But just because you say it, it doesn't make you not the best. For example, Michael Jordan was the best clearly when he was playing in the 90s and early 2000s, right? Well, if he ever did decide to verbalize that, that wouldn't change that fact. He just now said it. He just didn't have to say it because everyone else knew he was the best.
Get it?
Now, in my case, I'm just being sarcastic. And if you don't get that,
you're an idiot.
I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. What am I going off of to say I'm the best YouTube channel in the world? Do you understand how many YouTube channels there are? Why am I even asking you that? You don't even know what sarcasm is. People need a sense of humor and they need a sense of sarcasm. I bring sarcasm, and sometimes in my sarcasm there is truth. Sometimes in my sarcasm there is truth and there is lie. And sometimes in my sarcasm I'm just talking mess. I'm just talking. I know it's a lie. And sometimes, who knows, it might be truth or it might be a lie. But that's for you guys to decipher. I have enough on my plate. But while I'm on a roll, let me mention one more thing. On my channel, 98% of the time, I am reacting and responding to someone else on a video. And the reason why I say that is because during the same video about women being child-free by choice, I had a woman, of course, who's probably a feminist, and this is why you can't take political thoughts and views and your opinions politically and interject them into every conversation. Just because we're talking about women, you can't just take a feminist stance and then interject it, or you're not going to make any sense, or you're not going to get the point, and in the end of the day, you're just going to be mad. But anyways, I had someone respond to me saying,
why don't you talk about men who choose to be child-free and how they will regret it?
And I'm like, because men didn't make these TikTok videos. It's women who make these TikTok videos that want to brag about being child-free and how much it made their life happy and fulfilled, and telling younger women to do it. It's women doing it. I'm responding to their videos. Why are you mad at me that women make these videos? I don't see men that make videos about being child-free by choice and how they'll never regret it. I don't see those videos. If I did, then I would talk about them too, because I believe men would regret it too in the end of the day. If I come across a TikTok video clip of a bad mom and I decide to respond to it, are you gonna be like,
why are you not mentioning bad dads?
Or if I find a TikTok video clip of a bad dad and I respond to that, are you gonna be like,
why are you not mentioning bad moms?
That doesn't make no sense. I'm responding to the video. They're the ones putting the videos out there. You shouldn't expect YouTubers or anyone to have to start talking about everyone else when they're talking about a certain situation. And for me to get more into the fact that I'm responding to videos, I've had comments say about the same child-free by choice video because it ruffled a whole lot of feathers. I made a whole goddamn pillow and went to sleep on it very nicely. But I had a comment say,
Why do you care?
Why do I care? I didn't ever really care. I didn't even know the phrase child free by choice. I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know it was a movement. I knew that some women didn't want kids, but I didn't think of it as a thing. I never cared if a woman had kids or not, especially if they're not my kids. Why would I care what a woman chooses? I never cared at all. They cared. The women that choose to be child free by choice cared. They're the ones that decided to make TikToks promoting this and bragging about how it's the best choice ever, way better than having kids, and every young girl should make this choice. They're the ones that did it. Then I got the idea like, hey, that's not good to promote this to young girls. When if these young girls end up regretting it, listening to you? Are you going to console them? Are you going to be there for them? Are you going to be able to fix it? No. If you're happy not having a kid, just be happy not having a kid. Why do you have to announce it to the world? But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked and this intro's getting long. But the point is, they cared first. The reason why I cared is because when you have a platform, when you have a voice, you are influencing people, and they're influencing young girls on the biggest decision in their life, whether or not to have kids. That's not their spot. So anyways, let's jump into what this video is about. This video, you guys won't believe it. There was a teacher trying to teach a session to her classroom about using people's preferred pronouns, even the made up ones. You know, all those alien noises, zing, zern, zang, all that crap. This teacher is literally holding a class session talking about this stuff, and the students also voice that they don't want to hear it, that they don't want to learn this. But the teacher wouldn't let it go, of course. She was very pushy about it, and fortunately, one of the students ended up recording the class session, so now we can join in on the fun. So I suggest you take notes, kids, because there's gonna be a test on this Friday. So you already know. Let's do it.
Okay, class, so I am teacher Darren, and my pronouns are going to be z, zer, zers, and zerself. So that's how you will address me, yes?
So what about she, her, hers, herself? That's what we know.
Yes, but I am gender neutral, so I am not a female nor am I a male. I would be in between.
I don't know what she's talking about. Just real quick, how many of you guys can actually repeat her pronouns back? Do any of you guys remember what she said? She said like 5 or 6 of them, and not one of them is a recognizable word. They're recreating language. In fact, since we can just make up words, I'm gonna be a Scrabble champion.
So right here would be my pronouns. So instead of she or he, you would refer as z. Instead of her or him, you would refer as zer. Instead of her or his, it would be zer. Yes, in the back.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused. Are you Mr. Darren? Miss Darren?
No, I am teacher Darren. There would be no Mr. or Mrs. in front of that, just teacher Darren.
Wouldn't it be Zister or Zis?
They haven't created that word yet, but you're...
Whoa, she just admitted it. We haven't created that word yet. They're just making up words. Well, he just created it. So there, who has the say on when these words become legit words? Who has the say? Who is creating these words? Is there just like some dark underlord LGBTQ boss just back there like Dr. Claw?
Tell the LGBTQ, I have a new word for you guys. It's Ziggy-Zong. And I'll get you, Inspector Gadget, next time.
Do they got some type of underground secret meeting that they're voting on these words?
We would like to bring a new word to the LGBTQ Council.
The council is open to your word requests.
We, the people of the LGBTQ community, would like to bring in the pronoun Zoogle.
God damn it. You guys already tried to bring in Zoogle. We told you, no Zoogle. No Zoogle. If you try to bring up Zoogle again, you will be banished from the LGBTQ community for 2 days.
On the right track. So it is just Teacher Darren for now. Yes.
You look like a pretty lady to me.
Well, thank you. Most people would take that as a compliment, but I am gender neutral, so I am not a lady. I can be pretty, but not a lady. Yes.
So you can't be pretty or
I said I
handsome,
can be pretty.
So you can be pretty and you can be handsome, but you are not a she that is pretty and you are not a he that is handsome.
Correct.
That makes no sense.
I'm confused. I guess I'm.
What are you
F on
confused
this.
about?
I'm confused over the whole thing.
Why do we have to learn this?
Well, because this is how the world is changing now. So the world progresses and we progress with the world. Yes, in the back.
Wait, I just heard one of the students say, I'm gonna get an F on this. She's really truly teaching these kids this and testing them on it? Is that legal? You can just make up stuff and then test your kids on it and then give them a grade? And clearly she's hearing resistance. There are kids that don't want to learn this. So why is she so pushy about it?
Can we just call you by what you look like your pronouns are?
No, because that would be disrespectful. So my pronouns are Z, Zer, Zer, Zers, and Zerself. Or you can just call me Teacher Darren.
This teacher is so wrong on so many levels. One, for obviously teaching this to kids that don't want to have anything to do with this. But also, she's teaching them a whole different definition of disrespect that society has. If someone assumes I'm a dude because I look like a dude, I don't feel that's disrespectful. So for this teacher to tell her students that this is disrespectful, even though the majority of society doesn't think that way, is wrong. She can say it's disrespectful to me, but that's a personal thing.
Isn't
Yes.
it kind of disrespectful to like put stuff in our faces and into our heads that we don't necessarily want to align with or learn?
No, it wouldn't be, because that's the way the world works. So even though it's something
Not
that
the
you
whole
don't
world.
identify as,
Not the whole world.
well, even
That's
though
more.
There is so much to say about this whole situation right here. First of all, she's clearly forcing her beliefs and her perception of the world on the students. But her perception is clearly the minority. But she keeps talking as if this is just how the whole world is and this classroom needs to catch up. You can't just force kids in a classroom and push your beliefs on them until it's what the majority believes. Then you can force kids into a classroom and force your beliefs on them. But not if you're the minority. Get your shit right.
Just like the USA, more so. Like
Okay,
all the
well,
other
where
parts
do you
of the
live?
world-
in the USA,
You said that's the way the world works. I'm just saying the whole world, like the USA is like 2% of the world. There's so many other continents and countries that don't want to, instill this into their youth.
okay, well, let's start by doing it in this classroom with Teacher Darren.
Mrs. Darren.
Teacher Darren. Yes, in the back.
So I'm gonna do my best with the Z-Zer stuff in the classroom, but if I were to use that in front of my parents, they're gonna get really mad. So is it okay by you if I call you like she, her behind your back?
No, it is not. You could just call me Teacher Darren to your parents and refer as my Teacher Darren.
But they're gonna ask why I'm not calling you Mr. Darren or Miss Darren. They're gonna be like, what do you mean, Teacher Darren? I've never
Well,
heard
that's
that.
something you can educate your parents on. See how I'm educating you and we kind of pass it down the vine?
See how she has no compromise? She wants them to eat the whole meal. They can't just have a portion of it. They gotta eat the whole damn thing. All or nothing. And clearly the parents don't know they're learning this stuff right now, because she just said, if I start talking like this, my parents are not gonna be very happy about it. Well, if they're not gonna be happy about her talking that way, I'm sure they wouldn't be happy about the teacher teaching her to talk this way, right? It just makes sense. But then this student has enough respect for the teacher to say, since I could get in trouble with my parents, is it okay if I call you a she or her when they're around, behind your back? Which really isn't even behind her back, because she's asking for permission. That's how much respect she had for the teacher. And instead of the teacher saying, you know what, since you showed me enough respect to ask if you can call me my regular ass pronouns, go ahead and do it. That way you have no friction with your parents, and also I clearly know you're not doing it out of hate. That's why you asked.
But no!
All or nothing. Tell your parents to shove it. I'm a zing zang zigga zong zong. And the test is on Friday.
So you're pretty much giving
Yes,
us...
in the front.
I don't know. You don't know my mom or dad. If I told them this, they probably come up here and you probably won't have a job.
I don't believe that's the case. These are
I
my
do.
pronouns, and
My
that's the way the
parents are
world
crazy.
is working.
I'm gonna go tell them this.
Is this part of the curriculum now, or is this something you want to personally teach us?
It's part of the curriculum in my class.
So it's something you want to personally teach us?
Yes, out of
Take us away
respect
from-
for myself as well. The same way that I identify you guys as your pronouns, I would expect the same respect for my pronouns.
Out of respect for myself, I can just make up what I want to teach you. How does that make sense to her? Teaching the students have nothing to do with you personally. Are the students your friends? Are the students your social life? Why are you forcing your personal stuff onto them? Why? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. So then when the next class comes in, you got to teach them. And then when those students graduate or move on to the next year and the new students come in, you're going to teach all those classes the same thing and then rinse and repeat? For how long?
Yes, in the back.
Okay.
Does Principal Johnson know that you're teaching us this? Like, does Principal Johnson use your proper pronouns?
I don't believe I've had too many conversations with Principal Johnson, but as far as I'm concerned, I haven't had any issues.
I thought Principal Johnson was your boss.
What? I haven't had no conversations with him, but as far as I know, I have no issues. What? Of course, you didn't tell him. If you would have told him, guess what? You would have had some issues. At least, bare minimum, he would have said you have to make permission slips for their parents to sign. At bare minimum, I think.
So we just go through email, and he would identify me as Teacher Darren.
He called you that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't. This is crazy.
So question, like, which bathroom do you use?
The teacher's bathroom.
No, like boy or girl?
The teacher's bathroom. The employee's bathroom.
What about like when you're at a mall or at a restaurant?
I don't see how the bathroom is the issue here.
I do, because we trying to understand this.
Yeah.
As students, we don't. I've never been taught this.
Yeah,
This is crazy. I think
That's okay. I'm here to answer any questions
it's
you
not
have.
okay.
And you didn't answer the question.
In the back.
So
Okay.
the question is, am I gonna run into you in the bathroom, or is Daryl gonna run into you in the bathroom?
Good question.
Well, you won't because you're not allowed in the teacher's bathroom.
Like I said, what about when you're at a mall or a restaurant or something?
Well, I don't see what bathroom I use is any of your
You
business.
said you were here to answer any questions we have.
Right,
You
and
just
my
said
answer
that.
to that is that I don't ask you about your bathroom problems, and you don't ask me about mine.
Answer the question. You thought you were so tough. You thought you knew it all. You thought you were going to teach these kids all this crazy stuff you believe. And you thought what? They were just going to sit there and listen and go, oh, okay, teacher. Oh, okay, teacher Donovan or Davenport or teacher Devin, whatever your name was. You thought they were going to do that. But now they're fighting back. And they're asking you the questions. And you said they can ask any question they want. But as soon as they ask a question you don't want to answer, it turns into, well, you can only ask the questions that I would ask you. And really, this is all your fault because you're the one that put yourself out there and you wanted to stand up in front of your classroom and do this without the principal knowing, without their parents knowing. And obviously, I think these kids are a little bit older. This seems like a high school because they're not falling for her shit. But also, I kind of wonder, why doesn't she want to answer that question? What would answering that question do?
Well, I didn't ask to be taught this.
And we don't understand it.
Like, we should be learning geography, but for some reason we're learning about pronouns.
Okay, well, do you not want to have respect for your teacher? I understand that this is a safe space for all of us. That would include teacher Darren.
This was a safe space regardless, to be honest, like before all this.
Yes.
I think the last one was pretty funny, so.
What does that one mean?
What?
Ooh. Yeah, is that when you identify as a cat?
Unfortunately, I don't have the whole class session, but I think you guys get the point. This teacher is crazy, and I hope she lost her job. I hope she lost her job because any teacher, regardless of your beliefs on whatever the case may be or subject may be, you shouldn't be pushing it on your students. Your students aren't your children. They're someone else's children. Would you push your beliefs on any kid at the park or any kid you run into at Disneyland?
No.
Why? Because their parents are there and people are around to see you. You're only doing it to the students because you feel like it's in a private area. But with cell phones, there's no such thing as a private area. Well, there's a no-no spot, like your pee-pee and stuff, but not like a private, like no one is listening or seeing area, is what I mean. But now that you know, out of respect for a teacher's self, they can just make up curriculum to tell your kids no matter how crazy it is. All I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. Did you learn any good information? Did you take good notes? Are you ready for the test on Friday? Or do you know there's going to be a substitute teacher, so you're going to be able to cheat real easy, because teacher Darren got fired? But while you're telling me your thoughts, I'm also going to need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hit checker button and sub ride with me. And I'll see you on the next trip.
Day and night. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. All my life. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. Can't help keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. That's why keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.